Y'all remember when YouTubes had video responses and things, you know, the community seemed a little bit more country farm? You know what I mean? Well, I want this video to be a discussion, alright? So in the comments, I'm curious, man. I really am, because I want to see if anyone has the same situational experience with meditation versus psychedelic identity loss. That's the title of this video. Wow! Okay, well, psychedelic identity loss and meditative identity loss. I want to discuss and express and show my life through language. So, the things that I've found... Oh god, it's just one of those kind of days. The things that I've found to occur through meditative identity loss is much more subtle, and you have to pay attention. You really do have to pay attention and want to find the answer. Because if you're not going to find the answer when you meditate, if you don't want that, if you're not striving for the knowledge or the information gain or the connection to God's source or that kind of change in life, you're probably not gonna even really notice it in the day-to-day unless you're doing it for like months on end. And you know, I'm sure after months of meditation, for even Donald Trump, could probably start to see some like things aren't really how they seem here, you know, like what's going on. You just have a subtle, I just have a subtle change when I meditate, you know. Like when I was younger, I would in 9th grade, I think I started meditating. And going into that experience, I loved the identity loss. I didn't know that it was occurring, but I didn't like the stress of life, and I didn't like all these bullshit problems that people had, and they were running in my mind like, oh, I'm starting to become a person. I gotta figure out what I gotta do in life. I gotta figure out how I can make money, what I want to look like. Am I gonna be an athletic person? What am I gonna do? All that stress just bogged me down, and so when I meditated, that was like my escape. That's where I became the nothingness, and I didn't have those stressful problems. So it's like every single night I had an hour to myself where I could just relax and be the essence of experiencing myself. And the next day, I'd always, bam, always be on point in the calm, relaxed, no judgment on the instantaneous upbringing of situations, you know. Like when I go into a room and I see somebody, there wasn't that instant anxiety that I would get. Or like, you know, identity, where I'd be like, you're wearing a shirt and pants. What? I don't do that anymore, you know, like it's not that situation, but I go into a room and I feel the essence. I feel the experience of it all, you know, the sound, the smell, the general sight, the colors, the feeling of it all. I focus on the feeling, right? That's kind of the result of identity loss, is you begin to experience the essence of a situation instead of what you think is going on here. What's gonna happen? I'm gonna be clever and figure it out. Come on. That's a control mechanism. It's a power boner, basically. You don't know when one ant is gonna walk a millimeter in fucking Africa, alright? You don't know. Only the experiential essence of all, the collective experience of everything in the universe, the pattern that it is, the intelligent pattern that it is, knows the essence of that fucking ant is gonna walk a millimeter in Africa, you know? That's the point. Okay. Now, in terms of psychedelic identity loss, it's pretty in your face, don't you think? It's like you go into the experience and you're seeing yourself get fucking ripped away in terms of the essence, because a psychedelic experience is kind of like, I like to call it the dialect of the psyche, psychedelic. I know I don't think delic is dialect, but the dialect of the psyche. You're talking to your subconscious mind. You see both the identity and you see the essence. You see the core being. You see the core experience. And it's, in my experience, it's been shown to me like a smack in the face, you know, not necessarily something scary, because I've meditated and I've realized that all these names that I give everything aren't necessarily the essence of it. So comparing and contrasting, meditation, you gotta find it. You gotta ask for it and let it go. You gotta give it to the universe. You gotta give it to the universe. You gotta pray upon it. You gotta speak it and manifest it in language, and then let yourself, the pattern that knows, the essence, the pattern that knows that fucking ant is gonna walk a millimeter in Africa, let that become you. That pattern, the essence, the experience, the source, the warmth that is within all beings, the thing, the engine, the heart. And in doing so, when you give yourself a pathway, you say, this is just my kind of pathway right now. I want to become one of the greatest guitarists of all time. I say that, and I don't think at all about what's going to happen. I don't think about how I'm going to get there. I don't think about, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to make connections, I need to make musical friends, I need this. No, you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen, all right? But if you want something, you got to say it, you got to become it. And the only way, again, to become it is to be that ant. To be that ant that's walking a millimeter in Africa. That you don't fucking know about, but you got to experience the essence of yourself. Because, you know, I truly believe that we all have the coding and the power of the universe within us and all the answers and all that kind of shit. So off that rant, I'm you know, psychedelic identity loss is like shown to you. You know, you go into the experience with all these definitions going on in your head, just naturally, you know, for most people. I don't necessarily experience it too much anymore. Again, I just experience the essence of a room. But when you go into that psychedelic experience, it's an inevitable breakdown and dissection. What? There's something different here. And just that essence of differentiation allows you to, whoa, and in awake, you know, awake state. The psychedelic is like a meditation, walking upright, you know? You're in an awake state with that psychedelic experience. What do you guys think? For those of you who have meditated and had the psychedelic experience, LSD, mushrooms, MDMA, pure MDMA, you know, did you have to work for it when you were on the psychedelic experience? You know, like, I'm sure set and setting are very important. You know, if you're at a rave or something like that, you might not be considering... I just think of a meme right now. You might not be considering universal functions. But do you get thrusted into those psychedelic experiences and just blown away at the nothingness of everything? And also when you meditate, do you get that same thing with meditation, or is it more subtle? You have to pay attention. You have to go do your homework, so to speak. What do you think? This is a discussion, okay? I want to see you there. I want to see you there! Down below, in the comments. So, my headband came off. That was an intense talk, wasn't it?